Let's do this. All right, guys, we are here to look at the EZAs for Z Duo and GT Duo. What an exciting time for sure right now is for these EZAs. Go ahead and get started here. Again, if you want to reach me while I'm calcing, please do not feel afraid to reach out via whispers on TTS, or I guess that's what TTS is. Use a whisper for TTS. What's up, Nova Prime? How you doing? So most of you have probably already seen calcs by now for these units. We want to now look at these units in a bigger, grander scale. A lot of these units are calced in a vacuum, not really calced with equips or you know, calc in realistic situations is what I like to call it, because sometimes they calc too much for them, or they calc too little for them. So I kind of want to meet that happy medium today, where we talk about the Z Duo and the GT Duo. We're starting off with the Z Duo for YouTube, the YouTube community. We're starting with Z Duo, of course, and then the next video will be GT Duo. For the stream, I'm going nowhere. It's going to be a continuous run all the way through, so don't worry. I'm not stopping the stream and then restarting it for the GT Duo. So now we have to look at their kits. So their kits, massively raising, like, yeah, it is a really good thing that they massively raise defense, but I actually think it's so necessary for this unit, because after one turn of their damage reduction, it's gone. So you do need some level of fast stacking for them to be able to compete in this meta. I think it's actually a really good design. I think this unit is really well designed, but with them being well designed, it does mean that they're not going to be super broken. I think the biggest takeaway is going to be these guys are actually really balanced. They're really good, but they are very balanced. So I will see how far that takes them this year, but they do look really good, especially the Z Duo. This unit looks really, really good. So let's go ahead and get started here. I already have their stats out here. I'm literally using my Z Duo stats for the calculations. So this attack stack might be higher than yours. This defense stat might be lower than yours. It's just based on the equips and stuff I have on my Z Duo right now. So that is the calcs we'll be basing it off of. If you want to know for yourself what these additional additions are to each of these stacks, it is going to be plus 1200 attack on a gold equip, and then I believe it's up to, is that plus 1700 on defense? Is that right? Let's see, 1200 plus 2100 on defense. So if you guys, that's going to be the defensive side of things here for that. So all right, so let's go ahead and get started. Base kit 300% on attack and defense. Very simple right away. I'm going to remove this 1.5 times multiplier so we know exactly what the damage they'll be doing on a turn is. The number counter that will show up on your side will be this very number right here. Is the music too loud? I mean, I have it on the background just so that you can actually hear it, but if the music's too loud, I can lower it down. All right, so now 100% attack and defense. I believe that is just additive. I don't believe that's multiplicative. Because it's a health check before the turn, so that's gonna bring them up to 400% on both. Also, really quickly, I need to add the links of this unit on both sides. It shouldn't take too long. We'll be linking them today with the tag Super Saiyan 4s and either Daimaforku or the tag UI / SSBE. They don't link super well on this team, but their linking partners are also not really existent. So 35%, 40, 65% attack. So their links through attack are pretty high. That's just 6, and maybe 65. And then defensive wise, I believe it's just 5, right? Yes, just 5%. So now We have when receiving an attack, 50% automatically. That's just on hit, and that is permanent moving forward. I don't really get the point of it being worded like this. I don't understand it necessarily, because it's like when receiving, I guess it's just like, I don't know. That's a really weird wording of a kit, because the 50% on hit for the defense 50% up, I don't know why they have to word it as if it's once and it's infinite. And the only reason why I state this is because that's kind of the case regardless. Like, if you get hit no matter what, that 50% procs on the first hit. So it's not like you making it infinite makes it a better version of it. It's always defense 50% up, unless it's a way to get, I don't know, that's a weird wording on that. I don't know, that's weird. Okay, so now we have 150% on attack. So that brings us to about 28 mil supers. That's pretty good. This is on the 18 key, clearly. We also need to remove this because that is not the case on their attack, but this will go up to 75%. Okay. All right, so now that's basically it. That's their kit. That is their kit, right? Baseline, this is their kit. Not a ton of damage, or not a ton of defense just yet, but we will get there, of course. So now we stack. So on the 18 key, of course, that's 100%. Right away, you're already up to 1.4 million. Then you gain a 24 key, which shouldn't be too hard if you're in slot 2 at all. You should at least get 3 more. So brings you up to 400. Actually, I'll move this over here. You're at 3 mil, and then you get the hidden potential, you're at 500. All right, so this is turn one. Turn one Z duo, you're at 4 mil. Now here's the thing, maybe I'm misinterpreting how this works. So let me see if this number changes anything here. It kind of does. I wouldn't understand why that language would be additive. It should be multiplicative. That 50%, that should be multiplicative based on when receiving an attack. Like that happens and it's infinite proc. I don't think that changes it to additive. I think it's just, I'm pretty sure it's multiplicative. So now we have 500% stacks on the first turn it's completed. So let's just take a look at how good this unit would look in slot 2. This is him next to the tag 2% 4s, between tag 2% 4s, and either Diamond 4Q or UI/SSB, or I guess the UI side of UI/SSBE. Which means this turn he would have 60% damage reduction with guard. So let's go ahead and kind of get an idea of how strong this would be. So you take, let's go pretty moderate. Let's say it's turn 2 and you're facing Gamma 2. I believe that's a 16 mil super. That is way too high. So he would still die to that. Okay. He would still die post super to a Gamma 2 super. With the 60% damage reduction up. Okay. Don't love that, but the thing is here as well is the fact that there's a good chance you kill him anyways. right? And I think there's a world where you kill him anyways, so I don't think it matters. Also, let's look at the attack real quick. So 50% on that, and then you go down to, hold on, let me check something really quickly on the 12 key multiplier. So it's a 28 mil super on the first super. And then it's 450. It seems a little low, but we'll go with it. You know what? No, I'm not. What's... Oh, I didn't know key multiplier changed that much. Huh, so I've been underestimating damage a bit. Okay, so that's 37. And then you bring, it is 450, really? Is that really the truth? That's 450 on this? Let me see what Kaiku's is. It is 450 on the 12 key? Huh, it is, okay. And then SA multiplier for the 12 key goes down to 450%. So 28 mil, 12 key. Which category will rule them all? Probably GT Heroes or Power Wishes, right? I feel like that'd be a good category. All right, so then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 30% raises, so that's gonna bring you up to 170 over here. So about 35 mil supers is what you're looking at here at the end of his turn. It's not a stack, clearly, so that's just his damage every turn. It's gonna be somewhere like 37, 20, 20, 30, 30, 30. So expect that damage from this unit here. So damage-wise, not impressive, but that's not really what we're looking here today for. Alrighty, so now that is them on that turn. Now let's just see another turn of stacking. They're gonna lose their damage reduction. That's gonna go down to 0%. What does another turn of stacking looking like for this unit? About 6.6 mil. Another turn stacking. So this is turn 5. After turn 5, this is what his number looks like. 9 million defensive just guard. It's good. How far does that get you though, is a question. The answer is not super far. So only an 11 mil super you can tank. Yeah. Again, guard is not as powerful as people try to make it seem. 1700. Okay. So it takes until turn 7 to really become decent. If you're just stacking, right? Which we kind of knew that going in, but let's just say you're running other things. First, for example, let's say we're running Tech Pan. I think that's a first start to all of this. Tech Pan. Let's start seeing realistic scenarios. So 30% attack and defense.
Stand ready for my arrival.
What if I don't want to stand by for your arrival? Have you considered that? I don't want to stand by for your arrival. All right. Okay. That support did not change much at all for this unit. But like if you're running a team, right? Like so the team I'm thinking of running here is Daimaforku, which will help damage, right? If you run double Daimaforku, like you can get up to an extra 160% attack here, which will change those numbers and they will hit much harder, right? And this is with two EX supers on each Daimaforku and they're up at the same time, which is possible. It's still, I'm still worried about their defense though, right? So you're running Daimaforku, UI, other UI, Tag 4s, Pan, and Z Duo. Let's just say that's the team. You're not getting much support outside of that, right? Like unless you have a rotation where Z Duo is in 2, UI is in slot 1, and then you give him the 20% multiplicative. I mean, does that change much for this unit? Like it does drastically change his numbers. That's a 2 mil increase. I think the main concern for me with this unit, and again, I know not everybody is Gamma 2 doing a 16 mil super on turn 2. I get that. My concern with Z Duo is going to be their first turn. You finish supering, you're great, you're ready to stand by, you're ready to go into the Vegeta side of this card. But just guard. Just guard is a concern here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about calcing the Spirit Bomb damage. I just don't know how. That's actually what I'm thinking about right now. How do we calc that damage? Because that's really, at this point, what we're looking for. This unit is very simple. You stay one turn in Z Duo and you go into... you go right into the standby. Because after his damage reduction is gone, is this unit even worth it? Now, like, for example, on this turn, let's remove this damage reduction, this extra 20% for a second, right? Let's say you put him in slot 1. Let's remove this as well. Let's take this down to 1300. So this is turn 5, I believe. You put him in slot 1 on this turn. Apparently I can't do math, sorry. Or I can't type. Like, on this turn, he's gonna look pretty impressive. Yeah, this turn's gonna look really good for him. So like turn 5 or post standby, something of that sort, like, yeah. Whew, this guy can hold up. This guy can tank after some stacks. This guy can tank Bio Broly. That's with only 5 turns of stacks. This is turn 7 Z Duo. Bio Broly is already dead by this point, but there is a one boss that wouldn't be dead. Let's say we actually do get this. Can he tank Gamma? Oh my god. He can tank the Gammas on turn 7 post super or turn 9. And he also has a 50% chance to dodge supers, by the way. So this unit is going to be a very skill check unit in how you use Z-Duo, because clearly this guy can get crazy levels of defense. The concern is going to be, once you lose the damage reduction, how good is this unit? The answer is not very good. But if you save his turn of damage reduction for him to go slot 1, man, looks good. Okay, so let me see if I can. I don't think you can calc that. I don't think you can calc Spirit Bomb damage on this thing, because there's no standby calculator, so that doesn't really help me too much. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like I can't calculate that, but yeah, this looks pretty good for Z Duo. You have to use this unit strategically. My concern is how would you do it though, right? Because like, think about this. Turn 1, 60% damage reduction, you're about 4 mil defense and guard. That's pretty good for most bosses outside of Gamma 2. You should be able to be useful in Cell Max, pretty much. Well, How would you be able to use this guy in Cell Max? I feel like there is a world where you could use this unit in Cell Max. You would have to put him in slot 1 though. And then hopefully you dodge the AoEs. And then you stand by the next turn. Because the thing with this unit is, I don't know if calcs matter that much for this unit. I think at a certain point it will, right? If the fights get super, long, right? Like we're talking like 15 turns it takes to get to the end and they don't do crazy damage until the end, then Z Duo is going to be stupid broken. Because you could do the Spirit Bomb turn, you could save a slot 1 turn for whatever you need it. There's like Z Duo has a ton of utility. I think that's what I really like about this character is he has slot 2 utility, slot 1 utility. His damage reduction on this turn, I mean, he could take a 28 mil super. That's ridiculous. That's a ton. This guy's damage is decent. I really do like this unit. I think the concern just comes down to the fact of, can he be used everywhere? And I think that's more so going to come down to once we actually get him into our hands, because I think there's just so many situations that can change how this unit looks, right? If you don't get 24 key turn 1, this unit could look a lot worse than he could. Like, let's just start. Like, let's say you don't get 24 key, which means you only get 3 supers in that turn, right? Like, what does that look like for you? That's not good, right? And like even 10 mil supers might damage you. No, they won't, apparently. Apparently 10 mil supers won't even injure this guy, so I guess it doesn't really matter. You could still have a really bad turn and still be fine. Now, the issue with this, though, I will say this. Because I'm pretty sure you have to do 4 supers to go to standby, correct? Let me verify. I am 99% certain you need 4 supers to go into standby. Let me verify really quickly. So to enter standby, 4 or more attacks. It doesn't have to be supers, it's just attacks. But that's the issue. This unit will not be able to be used once you're in standby. I'm sorry, well, this unit will be pretty much useless if you don't get 24 key turn 1. You have to get 24 key turn 1. And I will say there is an issue here. They don't have a ton of key in their kit, right? They have 2 key per key sphere obtained, and they do get 2 key per super performed. But let's just say turn 1, you come out with 6 key, right? Let's look at the links we have up right now. How many of those are key links? Prepare for battle, that's 2 key. That's it. This guy is going to have key issues. I think that's a big issue. I think that's a huge issue, actually. Because if you don't get 24 key turn 1, you're going to be looking at a bad time. You're going to be looking at a bad time if you do not get 24 key turn 1. I mean, again, he could still tank and that's fine, but then the next turn you come around and you're gonna have, let's just say you do get, this time you get all the stacks and then you go up to 800 and then you lose this. Now we're in dangerous territory. So that is the concern with this unit. You need to get to standby as fast as possible, and the only way to do that is by guaranteeing yourself you can get 24 key. Now, they gain 2 key per key sphere, so that means every key sphere is 3 key. The problem is they don't orb change. So if you pair him with the Int Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, you might be able to get around this. But there are going to be turns where you don't have 24 key, and I think that will be concerning. But yeah, I mean, once you go to standby, though, let's quickly just go over to standby form. I mean, like, there's something to calc here. Rainbow orb changes. You need 9 orbs to become invincible. Yeah, that's it. Like, they're invincible. They make you hit hard. That's really all you need from the standby side. There's something to calc here. So yeah, pretty good unit there overall. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording for this. We're going to move over to GT Duo Calcs.